Shohei Ohtani wins his third unanimous MVP award, his first with the Dodgers. Former UCLA players who transferred to USC apparently hate talking. And Mick Cronin, not saying that I'm a psychologist, but there's a lot of self-loathing there. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is November 22nd, 2024. One more day in Portland, battling this little frog in my throat before I get to go home and see the wife, and I totally can't wait. We're going to go bra shopping, which highlights two of my favorite things in the world, but I digress. We added a new subscriber to the Angeleno Familia. Thank you for getting in on the ground floor. We'll do our best to keep you informed, and if you like being in the know about LA sports, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. Orlando 119, Lakers 118. I realize the Magic don't exactly suck anymore, but this is a game the Lakers shouldn't have lost because the Magic were playing on back-to-back nights. They should have been gassed. Anthony Davis scored 39 points. LeBron James added 31. Meanwhile, today, Sacramento's at the Clippers at 7:30. Clippers leading scorer Norman Powell is out tonight with a hamstring injury, and Cal State Fullerton is going to be at UCLA at 7. What do you say we get to the news? Shohei Ohtani won his third unanimous Most Valuable Player award, as we just mentioned, and it is a hell of an accomplishment because obviously for a variety of reasons, two separate teams, two separate leagues. But when you already have two unanimous MVP awards on your mantle, should we really expect anything less? Frankly, if you're an Angels fan, you expected no less, even though he was going to one of your rivals. And that is one of the many reasons why you probably want to do many highly illegal things if you ever met Artie Moreno. But let's not promote violence here. Certainly not I. Ohtani became baseball's only 50-50 player in history while simultaneously rehabbing from Tommy John surgery. And by the way, that was also while every other baseball fan across the country that wasn't Japanese falsely accusing him of betting on baseball. Now, again, tremendous accomplishment. You might be saying, I can't wait to see what he does for an encore. I have a prediction. I don't think he can top it. Here's why. Next year, he'll be pitching again. And it's my belief that the reason he was able to steal so many bases, what I'm saying is top 50-50, by the way. What I'm trying to say is he was able to steal so many bases because pitching puts more stress on your legs. Not that I'm assuming his legs are going to give out on him in terms of injury. His legs are going to give out on him in terms of running. Moreover, until the Dodgers stop implanting explosive devices in the elbows of their starting pitchers, Ohtani's going to be at risk for yet another Tommy John surgery. We were talking about this all season long. In my opinion, the only way Mark Prior keeps his job for next year is because the Dodgers won the World Series and everybody feels happy. Mark Prior sent so many multi-million-dollar pitchers to the operating room. How do you lose that much capital invested into that many arms and keep your job? There was no choice. He had to win the series. And believe me, Mark Prior is looking at Shohei Ohtani going, man, I can't wait to send that guy to Cedars-Sinai. Believe me, I have nothing, there's no disrespect meant to Shohei Ohtani. I just don't see how he wins a fourth next year. Not with Mark Prior in charge of his arm. And it's cool Ohtani got the award and all, but there is going to be a next season. The Dodgers are flawed. We have to be real with ourselves. Lovely team, tremendous effort, great hitting, flawed team. The only thing they love as much as winning is, again, injuring their own pitchers, which means that they're always going to be in the market for another arm to maim. And that brings us to Roki Sasaki of Japan. According to MLB.com, Saki cannot be signed until after January 15th. And that is a lot of idle time. And what happens when there's idle time? Gossip. Executives across baseball have so much time to gossip. They're like a bunch of teenage girls in line to go see Wicked. His agent, meanwhile, is now angry because of the rumors. There's an allegation of a handshake deal between the Dodgers and Sasaki already in place. The agent, Joel Wolfe, is angry because, of course, that jacks up his reputation. As if agents were known for ethics. Said Wolfe, quote, "While a bunch of executives who should know me better and do a lot of business with me insult my integrity, insinuating that I would be part of some type of nefarious agreement, in reality, this is just poor sportsmanship," unquote. By the way, if you're wondering where the "it's a done deal" rumor came from, Sasaki has a teammate in Japan. Former Houston Astros pitcher Dallas Keuchel, part of the Trastros contaminated championship team that beat the Dodgers back in the 2017. Keuchel told the New York Post, quote, "I heard some rumblings about a done deal with the Dodgers," unquote. So the ghost of Trastros past tries to put a wrench in the Dodgers system. Also, Ken Rosenthal, the bow tie guy at Fox Sports, said the Dodgers have already had talks with free agent pitcher Blake Snell. Now, to be clear, many suitors are going to show up at the door with roses, boxes of Godiva chocolates for the guy. But the Dodgers have already talked with him. Lots of Dodger news to discuss, of course. Feel free to comment in the comments thread. Meanwhile, it's not just a return to Westwood, or in this case, the Rose Bowl, for former UCLA defensive coordinator Danton Lynn this weekend. Lynn, of course, left for USC. Safety Kamari Ramsey transferred from the Bruins to USC. Now, the LA Daily News wanted to point this out by writing a nice feature article on the guy. And in the process of trying to write this feature article, they discovered that Ramsey and Lynn are pretty much kindred spirits. Why? Do they share the same hobbies? No. Is it like a father-son relationship? No. It's because neither of them talk. Matter of fact, they wanted to interview Ramsey for this feature article so bad, and his sister is the one who gets quoted. That's how little Kamari Ramsey speaks. God forbid this guy have to give an oral presentation to get his diploma or anything. The sister said, quote, "Kamari really liked that he had a coach that could understand him," unquote. In other words, neither of them like to talk. For whatever reason, they just kind of do this symbiotic mind meld thing, like in a bad sci-fi movie. Lynn, who has also kept his mouth stapled shut pretty much all year, did actually speak for the article. He said Ramsey jump-started the Trojans' defensive revival. Quote, "Some people just get ball, and he's a guy who understands ball. There's certain things that we don't need to teach him that he just naturally gets," unquote. Sometimes I think UCLA basketball coach Mick Cronin gets carried away. I've talked about it. Like this diva behavior that's so damn dramatic that you assume he spends his off-season starring on the Real Housewives of the Big Ten or something. Not saying he's a terrible coach, just saying that his post-game remarks, he can totally sell out his players at any time. But it doesn't mean that he's always wrong when he does. Take, for example, his post-game comments about the Bruins after they beat Idaho State on Wednesday. Quote, "I thought for 30 minutes we played great, and then we got up 28, and a bunch of the guys were selfish. Their mind wasn't on defense, just trying to get a steal and get a layup. Just go to the other end and get mine. We became everything I despise for the last 10 minutes. Kind of fair. A little bit overly theatrical, but fair. And we know this is true. We know Cronin is right. Why? Because Idaho State shot 55% in the second half. And also, it's Idaho State. Idaho State. If I don't know your school's nickname, hell, if I don't even know your school exists, you should never be shooting 55% against arguably college basketball's most storied program. That should be an impossibility, and yet they did. So Cronin's right. But I have to also, the whole, they became everything I despise comment, you know? I mean, what the hell is this guy's gonna say next? I mean, quotes like that, there's always gonna be a spot for him in the offseason on the Golden Bachelorette. And yes, by the way, I am aware how bad my voice sounds, so I apologize again. Ladd McConkey did not practice Thursday for the Chargers, which means he could miss Sunday's game against Baltimore. You miss practice that late in the week, it's a distinct possibility. He injured his shoulder last week against the Bengals. If it's true that he's not playing, maybe that will finally translate to playing time for former Pro Bowler DJ Chark, who was supposed to be the go-to guy in a rebuilt Chargers receiving room. But he's been a healthy scratch for the last 3 weeks. And by the way, you might have noticed that we have not dug deep into the whole Harbaugh thing. You know that brothers Jim and John Harbaugh are coaching against each other? That's because that ridiculous pun was almost clever 15 years ago when it first happened. But that stupid pun had a shorter lifespan than all of those ridiculous baseball nicknames that Chris Berman used to create out of 1970s songs. That crap was tired. So no, I don't care about a Harbaugh. But what I do care about is your comments in the comments thread. Talk to me about the greatness of Shohei Ohtani, or what you think about what's going to happen in the upcoming UCLA-USC game. Because I can't wait. I think that game's going to be terrific. And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Ken Cortel Queso production. Take care.